everyone, and happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I was not even sure if I was going to make it on time because there was some traffic when I left work heading home. And can I say, living in Orlando, people have no sense when it comes to driving. In my opinion, the drivers are a box of rocks. Box of rocks. And they're on their phones, they're not paying attention. It's definitely not like Westchester, New York, because people are always on the go and people want to go. And here people are just slow as turtles, okay? And I don't understand the driving here. And I've been here for 5 years and I can't get used to it because I'm still in New York time, New York minute, and whatever. I'm here, I made it. Praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus. Now, today we're going to be talking about a lot of things, okay, you guys? And we are going to be reviewing and analyzing of Erica Kirk, of the things that we missed, because we were all going through a grieving process, and when we grieve, we tend to miss things that looks very suspicious, very it looks odd behavior and everything. When we're going through grieving process, we can't think straight. We don't know what's happening. We don't even know if we're here or we're there. We just, when a grieving process. Now that, time has passed and we still have not forgot about what happened to Charlie Kirk, but, everyone goes through grieving differently. And now we can go back and assess a lot of things that did not look right when it comes to Erica Kirk. And that's what I'm doing this whole week. I'm on Epstein files. And I know, and I said in my previous videos, I'm out, I'm done. I don't want to talk about Epstein because I feel like, in my opinion, there's not going to be any justice for the victims and the survivors. However, there's a lot of things that I noticed, a lot of red flags that the FBI, the police department in West Palm Beach, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball because they could have arrested Epstein a long, long time ago. And this is just my theory, in my opinion. I believe someone in the Palm Beach department was tipping Epstein off. That's why he got away with a lot of things. That's why he told his assistants to move the computers, move a lot of devices, electronics and stuff like that, and put it in, move it to Manhattan in his townhouse or whatever. So someone tipped him off from the inside, which I will talk to you about this week because we're going back. We're going back in time to analyze and review things that we missed, and I missed a lot. Again, I was going through grieving process with Charlie Kirk and what happened to him. And now that my head is straight and now I'm laser focused, and I'm going to point out to you guys a few things that we miss and that no one didn't really talk about. And I'm just going to bring it up. And also we're going to talk about Wendy Williams. I don't know if anyone watched the Real House of Potomac, and the reunion. My goodness, it was just crazy. And I have to say, I give Wendy a lot of credit. I give her a lot of credit for going to the reunion, facing the backlash, facing the things that her and her husband has done, committed fraud, and she's taking the heat. So I commend her for that. Going to the reunion and not skipping it and not taking the easy way out. However, her and her husband committed a crime, and I don't understand why. They make good money. They have a nice home, good career. Why do something so foolish like that? But we're going to talk about it. But before we get into that, I want to go back in time on December 11 of 2025 when Erica Kirk did an interview with Glenn Beck on his podcast. And once I show you this video, I have to say the video of Erica, her face expression, that's the first time that she's very authentic, that she was not giving a performance, that she did not really know the note that Charlie Kirk wrote before he passed, that she went to his office, his work office, and she was looking through his papers and stuff like that, and then she noticed something that he handwritten, priorities, like list of priorities. And when you look at this video, you can just look the shock in her face, how she was surprised what Charlie Kirk wrote, and that her reaction, that was very authentic. Like she didn't even know, because like you said, she hadn't even been to his office since his assassination, and that is the only authenticity of her, and it was not a performance, and that was real, opposed to the other nonsense that she has done in the past that look very fake and gay. But take a look at her reaction of Charlie Kirk's priority list that he handwritten. Take a look.
Sunday as his planning day. I'm actually
Mm,
sitting in his office. This is his home office, and I have
mm,
not been in here for a very long time. And I've just been, that's part of the reason why I keep looking down. It's not because I'm not wanting to look at you. It's because like there are so many treasures in here. Like for instance, like this piece of paper, he wrote on everything. He has papers everywhere. This says, it's the priorities. It says family, children, legacy, kids number one, versus careerism, consumerism, and loneliness. That's interesting.
Interesting. Pause. Interesting is right. Now, a lot of people go to say family. Well, he probably met her. No, family can be a lot of things. Family can be about unity. It can be as a whole. It can be the turning point family, like Erica Kirk said that's her family, his family, turning point family. It didn't specify her. Also, he specified children. He specified legacy. He specified kids number one. Now, as a Christian, okay, usually when you have your priorities, you put God first, number one, your husband or your wife, number two, your children, number three, then your family, then your friends, and so forth. Charlie Kirk didn't do that. He didn't even say that. He just said those three things. Excuse me, those four things, and then he lists his careerism, his consumerism, and loneliness. That's the last thing that he was trying to avoid. Okay, and then when Erica Kirk said her response, interesting, yeah, of course it's interesting. And the thing that I took out of that jumps in my mind, that her name was not on it. Her name was not on the list. She was not the top priority, and the wife should be the top priority, right? Because as a Christian and as a marriage couple, your wife or your husband should be the top priority along with your children and everything else. But it wasn't. So that tells me that Erica Kirk just exposed herself to the world that without realizing that her marriage was in trouble. Her marriage is not perfect. No marriage is perfect. Okay. She realized she didn't even realize that what she was doing. And no one didn't pick up on that. Maybe a few people did, but I don't know. No one's not talking about it. I just clearly noticed that in the video that there was trouble in paradise. Also, the her wedding photo frame or album, whatever, was removed from Charlie Kirk's office. Excuse me. So clearly there was trouble in paradise. Clearly that their marriage wasn't perfect when she claims that everything was fine, everything was good. Charlie Kirk was trying to get a good night rest, when it's a possibility they had a falling out. They had a fight. Like most marriage couples, they have a disagreement. You get disagreements, you have fights. You know what I mean? Then the next day, you make up, say you're sorry or whatever. But she claims that her marriage is perfect, like everything was good. Clearly, it wasn't in that handwritten note that he wrote down before he passed. So obviously there was trouble in paradise. But let her, and that her reaction was authentic because she did not know. She had no idea that he wrote that. You can just tell from her face expression. You can tell from her reaction that she did not know that he wrote this. And that's the only authenticity that you're going to get from her. Everything else is just fake and gay from her.
I don't know.
Continue.
I could spend hours in this at this desk, but my point is with little things like that is that he would sit here on Sundays writing, using.
Yeah. So she just exposed herself without even realizing it, that there was trouble in paradise. But I want to show you a next clip of Candace Owens of the same topic of her with Glenn Beck, about her talking about the text messages. Like basically she's saying that, and I spoke about this before, but again, we're reviewing, guys, we're analyzing, we're reviewing everything. We have to go back. Sometimes we have to go back to realize what was there right in front of us this whole time. But again, we were grieving. we were grieving, we didn't see. We didn't notice anything. But now we're noticing a lot of stuff that makes no sense. So basically, Candace always pointed out that Erica Kirk lied, that she was like telling Glenn Beck that Charlie Kirk was not being threatened, no one wasn't trying to kill him, which he texted multiple people that he feels that they are going to kill me. Now we don't know who they was, but it was on his phone. Then Erica told Glenn Beck that Charlie Kirk never texted that. He never texted anyone that. And you can just look at Glenn Beck's face that he knew that she was lying because he was aware of this. He knew about it because it was texted to him. And I just don't understand why he did not call her out on that and why he didn't say, excuse me, Erica, that's not true because I even got the same text message. Like he didn't even like tell her. Again, I don't, maybe because she's grieving, maybe she's a grieving widow, but just the look in his face that he knew that she was lying because there was a text message. Now they were saying that it was through a different app, through Telegram, but that's a lie. It was texted to Dan Flood through an iMessage. So she knew and she blatantly lied to Glenn Beck, which Glenn Beck knew, and also to Candace Owens. But take a listen to what Candace Owens had to say and about the lie that Erica Kirk told about that Charlie Kirk never texted anyone about that they were going to kill me. Take a listen. Let's see where we at. Let's see which one is this. I think it's this
Bring one. The Glenn Beck interview back up because hindsight, like I said, is 2020, and I want you to pay attention to how she lies. Now that we know this is a lie, it's crazy to watch how performative she is in trying to deliver the lie so that it's believable to the masses. Remember, Charlie messaged multiple people saying that he thought they were going to kill him the night before. I feel like it wasn't just a snack that he wanted. I think there was some anxiety, he discovered something, and things weren't good. I don't think it was a peaceful night's sleep the night before. Well, Erica,
Agreed.
at this moment when she is about giving this interview to Glenn Beck, remember this was the PR blitz, she's shutting that rumor down before she realizes that I know more information. Watch how she sells this lie. Take a listen.
I know the tour, that was the first stop of the tour, and I know you two had met with your priest the night before, and do you think Charlie knew to some degree and had made the conscious choice that I may be taken out early, not saying he knew that day, but that he had any inkling that this might come his way and that he intentionally chose to move forward with faith in God?
It's interesting because I have unbelievable amounts of death threats. My kids have kidnapping threats, death threats. Our whole team has death threats. We knew that there was always going to be a threat, but Charlie and I we promised each other we would never live in fear. And he would say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. But he was not messaging people the day before
lies.
saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone. Didn't say that.
Look at his face. Look at Glenn's face. Like you could just tell that he knew that she was lying because he got the text message as well. It's just funny. And also, what's the other guy's name who got the text message as well? Oh, I can't remember his name. It's gonna pop up. But you can just tell from his face that she was lying. And my thing is, I just don't understand why he didn't corrected her on the podcast. Maybe he didn't want to embarrass her because she's a grieving widow. But still, she lied. She lied that's saying that Charlie never texted anyone when that's a lie. And I just wish that he would have called her out on it. I know I would. Like, excuse me, that's not true. That's a lie. I don't care if you're grieving or not. You have to tell the truth. You cannot lie in front of the whole world saying that what you just said. That's not true. I mean, no one is not calling her out on it. Shame.
That. And so what I do know is that we believe in the power of prayer. And what I do know is that we believe in our sovereign God. And what I do know is that night before, we did what we usually did before tours. We said our prayer. and we ask the Lord to protect us, and we ask the Lord that his will be done. That's what we did.
All I'm saying is it hits different in retrospect.
It sure does.
She's selling that. I have
It
his
sure
phone.
is.
He never said it. It was chill. Everyone was chilling. Me, the priest. Charlie wasn't going Catholic, but we just like the chill priest. Everyone was chilling. It was great. And I have his phone. So, haters, wrong. That's acting. That is acting. And we have.
And I have to say, I know a lot of people say, well, you obviously you could agree with Candace because you're biased. Listen, the facts are the facts, okay? Now looking back and watching this, obviously that was a lie, and it was a proof that she was lying. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I just don't understand why she couldn't just not tell the truth the first time when people are pointing out her lies, especially Candace Owens. Now, yes, I've been listening to Candace Owens for a very long time, and I've been following this investigation from the beginning when Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10th. Now, what she's saying, Candace, makes more sense than what everyone else is saying, because everyone that is telling us the Fed slop doesn't make no sense. It's not adding up. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of cover up, a lot of lies. And I just don't understand until this day why they have not interviewed her. They probably have, and they're not telling us. But at the end of the day, the wife is always the main suspect. You have to interview everyone to rule everyone out. Even though they caught their guy, even though they're going to tell you until they're blue in the face that Tyler Robinson is the shooter, but still investigate. They make it seem like they had a perfect marriage. No marriage is perfect. Like there was no trouble in paradise. They're not investigating the finances of Turning Point. Everything was great. Like they're not questioning what Charlie Kirk said on his text message that they were they are going to kill me. They're not questioning that Charlie Kirk was setting up a Doge in his organization. They're not questioning anything. They're avoiding all the red flags that we all seen that look suspicious. It's the same thing just like the Epstein. They notice a lot of suspicious things about the Epstein, but they avoid it. They look the other way. And I feel like they're doing the same thing with the Charlie Kirk investigation. We got our guy, we got the shooter, and that's the end of it. When the whole narrative of Tyler Robinson don't even make sense in the beginning. And listen, I'm not a detective. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a cop. However, I have common sense, and I see what's going on here. It's a cover-up, and we all know it. It's a cover-up. So you're trying to tell me, and again, I'm going to repeat myself until I'm blue in the face because I'm just so fed up. I'm just so fed up with the bullshit. And let's tell the truth. Say, listen, we know who killed Charlie Kirk. We're not going to expose them. We're not going to do any arrests. At least tell the truth. At least be honest and authentic. At least give the public at least that respect. But no, you don't want to do that because you don't want to create chaos. You just want to tell us all this bullshit and then we should accept it. No, this is not 1963. Okay, I just want to point that out. This is not 1963. I just don't understand why they don't tell the truth. Just be transparent. We know who did it, and we're not going to expose them. There's not going to be any arrest. So deal with it, American people. Deal with it. It's the end of it. But no, they'd rather just blame. Well, I'm not going to say Tyler Robinson is an innocent bystander here because he had some type of involvement. He probably knew what was going on. However, he was not the man that pulled the trigger. So you're trying to tell me that he targeted Charlie Kirk for some gay shit, okay, with his furry boyfriend. So he pulled the trigger, then dismantled the rifle, then hopped down through the roof like a Spider-Man, then assembled the rifle together, but left the screwdriver on top of the roof, then put it back together, and then none of it makes sense. And we all know it. It all makes sense. I'm just reviewing here, okay? I'm just analyzing it. And again, CIA, FBI, whoever, don't come after me. Don't come kill me. And I'm not suicidal. I just want to make that very clear. I am not suicidal. Because I love God, and committing suicide, it's a sin. It's a sin. I just want to make that very clear. And it's sad that I have to say that. It's sad that I have to come up here on my YouTube channel, which, my YouTube channel is not popular. No one doesn't really watch me that much. And then people that do, I'm very grateful and thankful. And I have a Rumble channel as well. I'm very grateful and thankful that people take the time to listen to what I have to say. But again, I'm not popular. I'm basically nobody. I just come up here and just tell you my point of view and my perspective and analyze things. and review things and give you my perspective. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at, actually, because I can read people from a mile away. I can read people if you're bullshitting me, or if you're a bullshitter, or you some creepy guy. I'm good at that. I think maybe that's what God gave me, and I'm not sure about that. If God gave me that gift, reading people, because I do tend to read people, and half the time I'm right about certain people. A lot of my friends say, "Oh, you're just being judgmental. You have to give people a chance, Cheryl." And I said, "No, I don't give anyone a chance. I have to observe you, see who you are first before you even be around my orbit." Okay, that's just the world that we live in right now. You can't trust anyone. I'm sorry. The only person I trust is God, my husband, my family, and my friends. The close-knit friends that I had for 20 or a decade. That's who I trust. Other random people, I do not. Until you gain my trust, basically. But anyway, that's here and there. Like I said. And listen, I just lost train of thought because I was so hyped up here. Anyway, I'm digressulating. Anyway, like I said. And what I'm saying is, you can just tell in the look in his face that she's lying. She's lying, but he did not call her out on it. If it was me, I would have called her out and said, "Excuse me, Mrs. Kirk, that's not true what you said. That's absolutely not true what you did. Can you please clarify what do you mean that it wasn't on Charlie Kirk's phone? He didn't text message it," because I have the exact text messages on what Charlie Kirk texted me. And if he would have said that, then she would have just realized, oh shit, then it is true. Because even Candace Owens said she already knew before she even said that, before Erica said that. Candace already knew that what she said was a lie. But she wanted to wait to see if Erica would have told the truth or not. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Candace Owens playing chess. The rest of them playing checkers and lying. That's why Candace Owens always have the upper hand. That's why she don't tell anything right away. Because she wants to wait and see who's going to tell the truth and who's going to lie. Continue on, Erica.
Then we're told, oh, it's because he had messaging app. Not true.
Candace,
Dan Flood messaged on iMessage. So who deleted it? If it wasn't Erica, maybe she really is being taken by a ride by everyone around her. But the messaging has been that that's not possible. Remember? That's not, simply not possible. There's no way that any CEO could be surrounded by snakes. But if she is being taken by a ride, she would
being played probably
by now be very aware of that. So I don't really excuse that. Did somebody else delete the messages? Did Kash Patel come in and delete the messages? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's very strange that she was even allowed to have the phone back so quickly or at all. I don't think they ever even seized the phone, if I remember correctly. But I would.
Yeah, why they didn't see? Again, that is so odd to me that they don't seize his phone. Again, when a major homicide or assassination like that, like Charlie Kirk, you would think they would seize his phone, go through his phone, go through his text messages, go through his call log, and they didn't do that. They gave the phone right away to her. And I don't understand that. Again, I feel like they're biased because they know her, because she's the wife or the widow of Charlie Kirk. Again, everyone's a suspect, including me, and I wasn't even there. Everyone's a suspect, but they just root her out so quickly. Like she don't have any type of involvement? Of course, allegedly. She had some common knowledge. And you're going to listen to what Candace Owens said about her best friend, daughter, who was an assistant of Erica Kirk, who told her daughter not to attend to that event because she had a bad feeling. Now, she had a bad feeling. Why she didn't tell her husband, Charlie Kirk, that I have a bad feeling about the event. I don't want you to go. You see what I'm saying? So to me, by hearing that, what you're going to listen to in Candace Owens' word, that both of them had common knowledge, I believe, that they knew what was going to go down, that she didn't want her own daughter, Erica Kirk's assistant, go there. Why not call the police? Why not let the police know? Why not let the bodyguards know? Dan Flood, Brian Harpool, because they were all in on it. They were all in on it, allegedly, I'm going to say. But everything makes more sense. What the Fed slops are telling us, that makes more sense what Candace Owens is saying. Again, why Erica's assistant, her best friend's daughter, did not attend that event, UVU? Because she knew what was going to happen. She knew what was going to go down. She just knew. It's just crazy. But take a listen to the next video, this scene of Candace Owens about people mocking her. And I talked about this briefly, about her dreams. And I keep saying dreams are a very powerful thing. And I don't know why people mock that, especially, when God gives certain people dreams. And even Charlie Kirk repeatedly said to Candace Owens that he was going to die at a young age, that he's not going to live long, that his death is going to be, I'm trying to remember, not a revolution, it's going to be bigger. And Candace Owens is going to be the one to put everything together. Like, people don't understand purgatory. People don't understand, like, spirits can contact other people through their dreams and let them know what's going on. And people mock that like it's some joke. It's not a joke. It's a real thing. And I even said that my own best friend, she has a gift of that. She has a gift of dreams. And when she dreams about stuff, things have come to pass. And sometimes she don't understand it. Sometimes it freaks her out. Sometimes she is up in the middle of the night because she's trying to sleep and she can't, because she gets these dreams and they're so strong and they're so vivid. And she records them. And I have listened to her dreams, and the stuff that she said in the recording, it has come to pass. So I just know, I always believed her anyway. She can't tell certain people because people are going to think that she's full of shit and she's crazy. And most people probably think that people are crazy when they tell you that they have vivid dreams about something and it has come to pass. And that's a really true thing. And when Candace Owens said that about Charlie Kirk, I believed her. Not because I'm biased, but I believe her because my best friend has that gift. Not all of us have gifts like that. Okay, certain people do. And I believe that Charlie Kirk was communicating with Candace Owens through her dreams. That even it spooked her out, she said, that she had to get a priest because she was just like terrified that the dreams didn't make any sense. But you got to listen to her own words that, when people were mocking her, and even Charlie Kirk said that the people close to him betrayed him. And I have a list who I believe that betrayed him. Okay, again, this is just allegedly, but this is just my gut feeling, my opinion, that I believe the multiple people that betrayed Charlie Kirk. 1, Andrew Colvin. 2, Dan Flood and Brian Hartpole. 3, Tyler Bowler. Okay, Stacey Sheridan. Okay, who is a senior advancement director. Erica Kirk, his wife. Okay, Pastor McCoy. Justin Chef, whatever his last name is, Chief Operating Officer, among other people. Okay, and what Candace Owens was saying was that Charlie Kirk, she was asking Charlie Kirk, who are they? Who are these multiple people that were going to betray him? He couldn't say it. You get what I'm saying? He's trying to, but he can't. And that's a real thing. Now, that's something that you probably see in the movies, but I'm telling you, it's a real thing. You don't have to take my word for it. Again, I believe that Charlie Kirk is communicating through Candace Owens, through her, through the dreams, and letting her know that people from the inside of Turning Point USA, the people that he trusted, multiple people that he trusted, that he loved, that he believed, that betrayed him. And I believe it. When it comes to money, people do crazy, foolish things. When it comes to money, they betray you. You think that people that are close to you will betray you, whether it's your family, your friends, your business partner. People will betray you, especially when it comes to money, deals. Shit. People go nuts when it comes to money. You don't think they can kill someone? You don't think they can just betray somebody? Apollo? Of course they would. I don't understand why that's so surprising for some people. It's a fact. When it comes to money, people will do whatever it takes to eliminate the person, to get rid of them, because they're in the way, because they feel like they're not going to be reasoned with or dealt with or being, persuade or be convinced by money. And Charlie Kirk was not that particular man. You can't persuade him with money. You can't try to convince him. You can't try to persuade him because he was a man of God. He had principles. He had rules. He had standards. And he was not going to let anything to jeopardize his Christianity. Okay? And people knew that. They knew that he would not turn the other way or turn the other cheek. They knew that. Instead, they got rid of him. They got rid of him. They said that he can't be bargained with. He can't be reasoned with. So if he can't be reasoned with or bargained with, we got to let him go. We have to let him go. And like I said yesterday, she was sad. She was sad. She probably cried, but she agreed to it. She knew, allegedly. She had common knowledge of what happened to her husband. And she agreed to it. Because she probably told whoever she told on the other end, like, he can't be dealt with. He can't be reasoned with. He's so upset. He found out that was his handler, money laundering, among other things. He found out. Or someone told her. Like I said yesterday. There's a lot of possibilities. And to me, that makes more sense. That makes more sense what the feds are telling us. That absolutely makes more sense. Again, I don't know. I have no proof of this. I have no evidence of this. But that makes more sense to me. More sense. Particularly listening to Candace Owens about people mocking her for her dreams. And again, like I said, this is just a review. This is just analyzing everything because now everything makes more sense. Now I'm more laser focused, and I went through the grieving process, and now I'm seeing everything in retrospect now. Okay, take a listen.
He seems to be mocking me for having a dream that Charlie was betrayed. That's the joke, right? That's the in the no joke. She's just a dream. It's a vibe. It's a vision. It's hilarious because it's ironic. It proves that these people literally had no meaningful relationship with Charlie Kirk himself. Charlie was the king of dreams. It's insane how many messages I have with Charlie Kirk about his dreams. He believed his dreams. You guys have no idea. The vivid dreams. I've only showed you one of the text messages. Since he was a kid, he had those dreams, by the way. And last year, I was like going through a lot, reading back through our text exchanges. It was, I'll be honest with you, it was kind of scary. I did consult a priest. I felt like I needed spiritual guidance because I don't know everything. I don't know how the world works. How was I supposed to suddenly then contend, not just with his murder, but contend with having to read so many messages, so many precise messages of Charlie so convinced that he was going to die young. Like just telling me that repeatedly, he was going to die young. And that turning point was going to be involved, as I showed you. And there was more. And a lot of that still disturbs me. Messages that I found, for one, that didn't register to me as weird then, but one message that I found was Charlie writing to me, like I'm not allowed to go anywhere without security. In retrospect, why? It was Schaefer security, where Dan Flood came out of and Brian Harpole. I have the text about that. Charlie was not allowed to go anywhere without security. I want you guys to remember, this was not when Charlie was well known. I was not well known. Charlie was not well known. Turning Point was in its infancy, didn't have its big blow up money, didn't have that kind of money at all. And yet already he was not allowed to go anywhere without security. I find that to be.
Pause. And if that's true, I don't understand why Charlie Kirk didn't tell them, like, I don't need security. Like, I don't know why is this necessary, because like Candace Owens said, it wasn't even big yet. They were not well known. Turning Point was not blowing up yet. If that was me, if I was Charlie Kirk, I'm like, I don't need you guys. Like, no. And if they were adamant and very persistent about it, then I would have thought, something suspicious. Even though they probably said, well, it's for your safety, it's for your protection. And I'm like, and I would say to myself, what protection? I'm not even well known yet. No one doesn't even know me yet. No one doesn't even know Turning Point yet. So why do I need protection? To me, if they would have said that to me, that would have been red flags. I would have picked up a lot of things. You get what I'm saying? And I just feel like, now I'm thinking about it. That's why, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people were talking to, when Charlie Kirk was alive, a lot of people were in his ears about Candace Owens, and that's why Candace Owens left. And they didn't want those two to be close, meaning that they were close, but they didn't want Candace Owens to influence him, because he really respects Candace Owens and he thought very highly of her and he respects her opinion. So I believe they drifted them apart so she can go her separate ways and he go his. And then that's when Erica Kirk came along, and Erica Kirk influenced her. And obviously, when you're in love, you're blinded by love. You listen to your, this person that you think that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and you respect their opinions and their thoughts. And of course, they're going to take your word or whatever you say face value. because you're really in love with that person. I believe that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. He was so memorized and he was so in love with Erica that he listened to what she had to say about Candace Owens, about certain things, until it was too late. And she even said in her previous video that she warned him about certain people. She warned him, but he didn't want to listen. He didn't want to listen. And that's why I believe that the people from the inside were trying to separate those two, because Candace Owens was a voice of reason. She sees things more than Charlie Kirk probably didn't want to see, or he was just being, he was blindsided. When Candace Owens, she just knew. She can just read people a mile away, and she can just tell if someone was a bullshitter or someone was just very sketchy. She knew that, and she warned Charlie, but Charlie didn't want to listen. He probably took it face value, and then he just like, whatever.
Odd. Then there was this older man, an older Jewish man that he was seeing for spiritual reasons. And he was an older guy that was from Chicago. And Charlie and him, if memory serves correct, met through whatever special X-Men school, gifted school for the gifted, that Charlie had to attend. Like he was matched with Charlie somehow through that school. And Charlie would open up a lot to this particular man about his vivid dreams, about I keep dreaming I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And I don't know how he got assigned to this man, but I do know that also Charlie would say this guy is like the Oracle. He also has dreams. Quite literally, Charlie uses that word. He's like, he also has dreams, and I've met him, and like he is someone that wants to meet you. That's what Charlie told me. I promise you I'm telling you the truth. I'm going to show you this. Anyway, the point is that when Charlie and I got together, before things blew up with the Kanye tweet, this man who Charlie would go see to discuss these intense visions that he was having about his death, this man didn't dissuade Charlie. He wasn't like, oh, like I was saying, like, oh, you're just probably need some sleep. Oh, you're just nervous. You're just excited.
He knew.
This guy pretty much all but confirmed to Charlie that he was going to die. He wouldn't tell him how. He told him, like, but your death will save humanity. This was in 2018, early 2018, okay? So I wasn't taking much of this conversation too seriously. Like, I just didn't really know what to really make of it. But this man, he also expressed to Charlie a lot of interest in me and Charlie's friendship. And it was like a movie. Charlie had expressed to him that he felt, which I showed you guys, that he was like a time traveler and he had to come back and he had to find me for some reason. And then that man explained to him that we were all prisms of light, and that certain prisms of light were meant to refract and others were not meant to refract, and that Charlie and I were refracting. Anyways, I'm telling you this. I have a text message to back this up. But also that Charlie's life was going to be short. I'm going to show you this message because I read these things. I don't know what to make of them other than LOL to anybody laughing at my dream, okay? Charlie wrote, he won't tell you what he saw. He hasn't told me intentionally, just that I'm there and it's bad. And then he says, so the dreams I get, and then he sends me sometimes a lot of darkness. He says that I'm being shaped for a time to save humanity. It's just so crazy to me to read back on this and how many times we would have this discussion about Charlie telling me he was going to die young and that he was going to save humanity. It's just so bizarre. And then constantly telling me the next step, like I would have to defend him. There are so many messages like this. And again, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because it's such a nonsense, and it is so ironic to have people then mock me for saying that I had a dream, and I feel as strongly about the dream that I had that Charlie was betrayed by people closest to him. Like nothing could stop Charlie from believing that he was going to die and that I would stand up for him. Nothing you can say, no jokes you can make, no shows you can no right, that is going to pull me away from the feeling. The knowing, it is so deep. It is a knowing. It's not even a feeling. It's a knowing. It's not a dream to me. It's like a prophecy. It's like Charlie was betrayed. I don't know what else.
And she's right. And it definitely was a prophecy. It was. And I truly believe that. And I agree with Candace Owens. It doesn't matter what people think. They can mock her. They can laugh at her. They can say that she's crazy. I know I said this before when I showed this video, this clip of her. And it's fine. People don't have to believe, but it is a real thing though. And I truly believe that. And again, I'm not saying this because I'm biased, because I listen to Candace Owens, because I like what she has to say. I don't agree with everything, but I believe in that is a true thing, and I believe in prophecies. I believe when people, not all people, what they say when people say that they are a prophet, not all of them are prophets, but I believe in prophecies. And Charlie Kirk believed that he was going to die young. He believed that he was going to die at a young age, and he was going to save humanity, and Candace Owens was going to be the one. She was going to be the one, and sure enough, she is the one, because God is appointed her to do what no one else don't want to do. God is appointing her into this investigation, to lead this investigation, to get to the bottom of the truth. No one else is, because no one doesn't really care. They already got their guy, and that's the end of it. Anyway, let's move on to Wendy. Now, I don't even know what to make of this. I just don't understand what in her right mind, her and her husband would think about doing this fraudulent thing and trying to commit a crime and thinking that they're not going to get caught. This is not the Epstein, okay? This is not, she's not a high profile celebrity, okay? She's a housewife of Potomac, okay? And her husband, Eddie, Happy Eddie, who started a business of a weed business, cannabis. Hope I'm saying it right, okay? And I'm just going to read to you the latest update, not the latest update, what's been going on. So the Real Housewives of Potomac, star, Dr. Wendy, and her husband charged with 7 felonies, okay, facing 7 fraud charges. And basically, what happened was in 2024, they claimed they were arrested, and they were both charged with fraud and allegedly filing a false insurance claims. Authorities said that the couple reported the burglary in April 2024 when they were away to Jamaica. So basically, they hire someone to break into their home, make it look like a burglary, and then next you know, the stuff that they were stolen at their home, they filed a claim. But the funny thing is, she was wearing the stolen items. She was at an event, they took a picture, and then once someone noticed that the ring that she had on, she filed it in an insurance claim. Like, again, you just know they're not professionals. They're not professionals, because if she was a real professional, her and her husband, you would know if you're going to commit fraud and hire someone to steal your belongings from your home, you would think you would keep it on a DL. You would think you would not wear the stolen items that you claim that it was stolen from your home when it wasn't. You committed a fraud. And the thing I don't understand is they have money. It's not like they're poor. They live in a nice, decent home in Potomac. I don't understand why they will do this. And claiming over $200,000 luxury items were stolen while they were on vacation. But investigators later found that some of those items have been returned to the stores, and that Wendy was wearing the jewelry, like I said, was missing. Both were arrested in Carroll County, Maryland, and was released on a $50,000 bond each. And that's the thing. And it's so foolish. Like, if you're going to do something criminal and something fraudulent, you just be smart about it. Now, obviously, they didn't think this through. They really didn't. And now they're paying the price. They have three children. And it's like, they ruin their reputation. It's embarrassing. Have they not learned from the other housewives? Therese Giudice? I don't understand this. They thought they was going to really get away with this. And probably they could have if she was not foolish enough to wear the stolen item. And it was caught on video that she had the stolen item. And again, my question is, why even do that when you have money? Like, were they really going through some financial debt? Were they really in the hole? All this luxury and all this things, was it all a lie? I don't know. But take a listen to the reunion of Wendy talking to Andy Cohen about her arrest and her and Eddie and what's going to happen and everything. And I give her credit for being on a reunion and not taking the high road and just not facing the consequences of what her and her husband have done. So take a listen to the reunion.
You and Eddie were arrested. You're facing 16 counts of alleged fraud. What can you tell us about what's happening in the case?
Well, I can say the investigation is still ongoing. I can say that we have had court appearances. And, you know, it has been a very trying time for my family.
How are your children handling this?
It varies because you have someone like Cam who is not aware of what's going on. Then you have Carter who is actually aware when everything happened.
He was.
We tried to shield him. Immediately it happened, I called my mom and my sister to pick up the kids because the kids weren't home when this happened. So thank God they didn't see anything. I was taking a nap and I wake up to Eddie saying, "Baby, the police are here."
Okay.
I called my mom and my sister, and they were able to pick up the kids.
Okay.
Carter knew something was up because the fact that they're randomly spending the night with my mom and my sister, Carter was just like, something is going on. And he opened his phone, and he actually saw...
Oh, no.
Everything.
Yeah.
Did he see the mugshots?
What hurt me the most was he saw it, and he didn't tell my mom and my sister. So he went to sleep with it. Eddie and I picked him up from school the next day. We were pretending like everything was fine. And
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, you guys, their son finding out their parents were arrested in a mugshot, and probably his classmates probably found that out too, probably making fun of him. That's embarrassing. And I just feel like, you know, they're selfish. They're selfish parents. They didn't even think about their children. They just thought that they would have got away with it and it would have been easy peasy. And they don't even understand like the repercussion of their actions if they would have got caught. And they don't think about that. I don't understand people. I really don't. They think that they can do things, think that they can get away with it, and there won't be no consequences. And then the children are going to take the heat of it, take the effect of it. They don't understand that because at the end of the day, they have to go to school. They're going to get picked on and make fun of that their parents were arrested and their parents have a mugshot. Kids have their phones all the time. They go through the internet. It's not like it was back in the day. You know what I mean? I just feel like Eddie and Wendy, in my opinion, they were selfish because they didn't even think about their children. The other two, yes, they're young and they don't know, but the oldest one, that he knows. He has a phone. He goes through the internet, and they don't realize that how it could affect him, especially the other small children as well when they get a little bit older, and then they're going to find out that their mommy and daddy were arrested for fraud, trying to scam insurance companies to get some more money, which they have a job. Don't they have a job? Aren't they working? I don't understand. They're making money, and they're doing this fraudulent stuff. Makes no sense. I don't understand people. I really, really don't. I really don't. Continue.
he was in the back of the car, and I was like, "Baby, what's wrong?" And he said, "Where were you?" And I just looked in his eyes, and I've always promised my kids I'll never lie to you.
Yeah.
And then he just started crying, and I just held him. And we just cried together in the backseat of Eddie's car, just hugging each other. So a new thing that Eddie and I do is whenever we go to court, we tell him.
Yeah.
Right? So he's not surprised, or if there's something posted, like he knows what's coming, because I never want him to be blindsided like that again.
Good.
So was the nap the reason why the wig was a little to the side and twisted a little bit?
I don't know
that
why.
wig was wigging, baby.
The wig was wigging.
Is there a nap wig?
It wasn't my nap wig. That's my professor wig.
Baby, that wasn't your professor. Baby, that wig was no.
Well, how do you explain the eating grin in the
Because
picture?
the guy who was taking my picture, you know, he was really nice.
Okay.
And he was like, "Give me another look." And give me another, like he was playing around with me because he knew it was heavy. I was crying in there. I was sad. So he was just like, I know this is, he was trying to cheer me up.
Do you regret that?
Smiling?
Yeah.
I don't regret smiling because at the end of the day, I think we've all been through things, and you try to smile through the pain no matter how heavy it is.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Okay.
That's true.
Had you popped a Happy Eddie?
No.
Okay.
He was not
That was the
definitely
speculation, and it was Happy Eddie.
Let me tell you something.
Huh?
I was not looking high as a kite. Eddie, on the other hand, he was far gone.
Okay.
But he had not met the Happy Eddie. Eddie was actually asleep in his little cell. And they tapped him and said, come take your picture. And that's what
he
Eddie
looked
did.
a
High as a
little off.
kite.
Did you spend the night in jail?
I did?
You spent a full
Sure
night?
did.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was scary.
Oh.
I thought you were in and out.
I
didn't know that you stayed the night. So were people in your jail with you? You had to sleep with them?
Yeah.
Did you sleep?
For a little bit, but they control the lights, which I never knew about jail. You completely lose your autonomy because you wake up when they tell you wake up because the light's on. You go to sleep when they tell you to because the light's off.
Where did you pee?
There was a bathroom, but I held it, and I did not use the bathroom.
Karen made a wreath of tampons.
But can I say something to
Pass, sorry. Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
That would take a lot of time.
I know, you know. All right.
I remember talking to you, Endy, when Karen went in and you were like, I can't believe she woke up in jail. I can't believe what she's going through. And you went through it, but you're talking about it very, like, it's like a day in the park with the tulips. Like, are
Right.
you okay? Are you?
No. I'm not okay, but I will be okay.
Are you terrified?
Once you go to jail,
Absolutely terrified. But
you should be.
my faith is what's carrying me.
You know, my number one fear in life is going to jail. It is
Hell
literally
yeah.
the most terrifying thing to me. And so to be in a group now where two ladies that I know have been to jail, it feels like a little terrifying to me.
It is terrifying. Who the hell wants to go to jail? You know what I mean? You're away from your children, your friends, your family, your businesses. It's a scary thing. Jail is not fun. And she should have thought about that. I just want to know, and maybe you guys can drop in the comments, whose bright idea was this to cook up this scheme to do this fraudulent thing? That's what I would like to know. Whose idea was it? Was it Happy Eddie or was it Wendy? I'm going to give you my theories. I believe it was Happy Eddie. I think it was his idea, and he tried to convince Wendy to do it. And I think Wendy had reservations of not doing it because she didn't want to get in trouble, or she was like, saying, what if we get caught? What if something happens? What if things go south? And then her husband said, no, things are going to go right because we're going to have the right people to rob our homes, and we're going to make it look like a robbery, blah, blah, blah. Things are going to go good. Things are going to go well. Just trust me, baby. Just trust me. Trust me. Sure enough, she agreed with it, which is very foolish, because if my husband ever told me that we want to do something fraudulent, I'm going to get the hell out of my face. No, absolutely not, and we're going to divorce, because I am not going to jail for no one, especially if I have kids and a dog. I'm not leaving my babies. Hell no. If you want to commit some criminal activities, then that's on you. You can do it, and then you go to jail. But I'm not leaving my babies and my career and put shame on myself, shame on my family, my community, and I'm not doing that. No money is worth that. You get what I'm saying? And it's not like they were dirt poor, unless, again, they were going through some financial stuff. Because I know she mentioned that they had a court hearing, and the judge ruled that they have to show the judge their finances. Okay, so the judge granted that. Hopefully they present that. I'm not sure, but I will keep you updated on that. But I just don't understand, why would they take that risk to do that, not knowing that something bad could have happened. Like, they could have got caught, which they did, and they didn't think this through. And now look at the position that they're in right now. Take a listen to Wendy talking to her husband Eddie, how sad, how, and I'm just paraphrasing here, how messed up this is. Like, she can't believe this happened. Yeah, it did happen because you allowed it to happen, and you agreed to it. And now you want the public to feel sorry for you because of your F up? No, no one's not going to feel sorry for you. You made a mistake. You have to deal with the consequences, and now you're paying the price for it. You could have easily said, no, we're not doing this. Again, they didn't really thought this through. Obviously, you can just tell they're not really professional criminals. They're very amateurs, even though they're from Nigeria. You know what they say about Nigeria is people, you know what I mean, bunch of hackers, frauds, and stuff like that. But anyway, not saying about that. But the point is, they don't seem like criminals to me because obviously they got caught and they were not very smart of what they have done. Take a listen to what Wendy had to say to her husband about the whole situation.
Dreams that I think it will lead to us being taken away in handcuffs. It's so crazy, and it feels like a bad dream.
It is a bad dream. Oh my God.
I remember in the holding cell or whatever that is, and I saw you talking to your sister.
Baby.
And he hurricane. And back.
What is this? You expect people to feel sympathy? Is that the role? People feel sympathy for you? No, I know I don't. Because you shouldn't have done what you did, okay? You shouldn't have cooked up a plan, okay, while you were away in Jamaica and then have someone rob your home and then file an insurance claim so you can get the money from what was stolen when it was all a ruse, all planned up, and then your wife was wearing the stolen item. Make it make sense. And now you just want to cry so people can feel sympathy and people can feel bad for you. Well, guess again, I don't. If you commit a crime, you have to do the time. Okay? It's not like you have high profile people who can bail you out. This is not the Epstein thing, okay? Unfortunately. Okay? Now, if you have high powerful people who can hook you up, if you knew people from the government, then they probably could just make this go away. But unfortunately, that's not the case for them. So therefore, you have to reap what you sow, and maybe they're going to get jail time. I don't know. Maybe they're going to have community service. This is their first offense. You know what I mean? So maybe the judge might be lenient to them. I don't know. Opposed to Karen, she had multiple DUIs, so 4 strikes you're out. So that's why she had to go to jail, Karen. So maybe, just maybe, by the grace of God, I'm not sure, that maybe the judge will give them a slap on the wrist, community service, probation, something like that, because this is this first offense. It's not like they've done it before. But I hope and pray that if the judge do that they learn a valuable lesson from this. They should have learned a valuable lesson from other housewives that try to commit fraud, thinking that they're going to get away with it. I just don't understand people. I really don't. It's like it's not good enough for them. Nothing is good enough for them. They have their health, they have their family, they have a good house. It's like they always want more. It's like nothing is never satisfied for these people. I don't understand why. They should be truly blessed instead of trying to be greedy and want more and more and more. Look what happened. Foolishness.
Because she's so innocent. She had no idea what was going on. She was just so happy to hear my voice. She was like, Mommy. And I said, you're going to spend the night with Auntie. She was just like, okay, Mommy, I'll see you tomorrow. And I didn't know if I was going to see her tomorrow. I was so scared.
Oh, gosh.
I was just worried about the kids. I was so scared for them.
Oh, you should have thought about that before you committed a crime. I'm sorry. I know this is a little harsh, but I'm sorry. You should have thought about that. You should have thought about your children, but you didn't. That's the selfishness. They didn't think. That's the problem. These people don't think because they knew they was not going to get caught. You should have thought about that. Now you want to think about your children. Now you want to go, well, what if I go to prison? What if I get jail time? Then I can. Well, you should have thought about that. Sorry, I don't feel sorry for them. I really don't. Not an ounce of no. There's no empathy. I don't, because that's selfishness on their part. But take a listen to this TikToker talking about Eddie and Wendy about the whole case situation. And I have to say, I really love what she had to say in her point of view. Just absolutely love it. So take a listen to what she has to say.
Degree having Wendy Osefo. If you haven't heard, Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie Osefo were indicted by a grand jury, then arrested on 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy insurance fraud, and 1 count of false statements to a police officer. And thanks to this reporter on Twitter, I was able to read the 4-page court docs. And I'm not a lawyer, but let me tell you what it says. So basically, back in April of 2024, Wendy and Eddie called police to report a burglary. They said they had just gotten back from a 5-day trip to Jamaica, and upon arriving home, they found their bedroom and closets ransacked and several designer bags and jewelry stolen. Now, at first glance, it appeared the perpetrators had gotten in the house through the window of the primary bathroom. However, Wendy and Eddie had the ADT security service, plus a Ring camera, and neither of those things detected anything. The Ring camera was picking up some of their package deliveries that was happening while they were out of town, but it did not pick up any intruders. So after reporting this burglary, the couple filed multiple insurance claims. One with...
Yeah, to get money. Fraudulent. They're trying to... They were trying to be slick, and obviously it didn't play out the way they wanted to play out, and look what happened to them. Look, the situation at the end right now, and now they have to pay the price. I'm sorry. Anyway, you have to watch the reunion. It's crazy, and you know, I hope for the best for them, and maybe the judge might be lenient to them and give them community service and probation. Who knows? Or maybe the judge would be really strict and try and teach them a lesson. Like, you can't just be thinking that you're a celebrity and you can think that you can do whatever you want and try to get away with some fraud, and then it's it. The judge might be strict and throw the book at them, and they both might serve time. And who lose at the end of the day? The children, because the children now have to stay with the sister or the mother, and then both parents are going to miss out on their children's lives for a couple months or whatever. It depends what the judge is going to sentence them. But I believe, let me read this. Hold on. I should have got this ready. Yeah. So basically, it's 16 counts of alleged fraud. Okay. Now, I don't know the jail time yet. I will keep you updated because this is still ongoing investigation, and I will let you know. Now, before I let you go, you guys, I just want to show you this clip of Candace Owens. It's a little bit long, so bear patient with me of how Candace Owens feel like the police should be questioning Erica and Erica's best friend. I can't remember her name, and Erica's best friend's daughter, which is Erica's assistant, about the whole thing I told you earlier about her best friend had a bad feeling about the event that she didn't want her daughter to attend because there was a bad feeling. She had a bad feeling that something was going to happen. And sure enough, on September 10th, something did happen. Charlie Kirk was publicly assassinated in front of the world. So take a listen to quickly of Candace Owens, what she had to say about Erica Kirk.
At least, Erica, look, I have seen enough, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen enough. Erica Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct for questioning. Like I said, you can show me the person who disagrees with me on that after I will reveal to you what we can now confirm. You can show me that individual and I will show you a full blown fraud. That's the only people that would disagree with that assessment. I said to my team this morning that the amount of evidence that is now piling up, I would say against Erica Kirk, is almost akin to an NBC Dateline episode, except it's actually more simplified than that. Like Dateline, that show is way too complicated. We're effectively now playing a toddler's game of Blue's Clues. Now, for my international friends who don't know what Blue's Clues is, it's a child's program here in America where toddlers follow along a massive blue dog as he puts his paw prints on certain clues around a house, 3 clues, and they try to put together a picture in the end. What is Blue trying to say? Let's take out our handy dandy notebook and see what Blue is trying to say. Here's the mail that never fails. Okay, if you are an adult that is capable of basic logic, then I can tell you that Blue's Clues is probably not for you because it's not that exciting. It's pretty obvious, you know. Discovering that 1 + 1 = 2 is a very elementary concept, and that's effectively what that show is. And we are now arriving at that moment with Erica Kirk, and I'm going to tell you why. So yesterday and last week, we introduced to you Erica's best friend for over 15 years, a woman by the name of Tracy Martin. Now, we were working off of a tip that Tracy may have been with Erica when Erica got the call from Elizabeth and Mikey McCoy, because they were both on the phone, even though that was never revealed to the public until later. Tracy, I am told, because she's privatized her public profiles, but I am told that she has denied that claim. Okay, let's assume Tracy's telling the truth. and that she was not with Erica on September 10th. That's not even relevant to what we're about to reveal to you. Because what Tracy cannot deny is that her daughter is indeed Erica's assistant. I've confirmed that. And I want to be very clear here that this young woman did nothing wrong. She's not done anything wrong. I'm intentionally choosing not to name her daughter because I don't want people to stalk her, to reach out to her, or to try to learn anything about her life. She, like I said, has done nothing wrong. And in many ways, she's just beginning her life, okay? She doesn't get to choose who her parents are, and who among us would not jump at an opportunity to go work with the wife of the CEO of a massive student organization like Turning Point USA. You would accept that job gleefully. That's a wonderful opportunity in life. So I just want to overstate here that this young woman needs to be left entirely alone, okay? Choosing not to name her. However, it is a fact that she was supposed to go to UVU on September 10th. I remind you, this is Erica's assistant. And it sort of tracks, given Erica's public admission, that she too was considering going. But remember, Charlie told her, home needs you. Home needs you. So she was instead going to go meet him at the next event, which was in Colorado, slated for later that week. Charlie did not want her to go to the UVU event because the kids needed her. Home needs her. But he totally wanted her to become the chairman and the CEO of the company in his absence, right? Like that totally tracks. That makes perfect sense. Anyway. But the reason that Erica's assistant and her mother, Tracy, Erica's best friend, told people in their orbit something quite interesting, actually. The reason that they told her that they didn't go is different from the reason that Erica didn't go, obviously. Tracy and her daughter told people that Tracy had a bad feeling. Like I told you, we confirmed that. Tracy had a bad feeling, and so she stopped her daughter from going to UVU. This is now confirmed. It's a fact. So let me carefully unpack to you why that is bananas. The day before, as we know, Charlie messages a group of people and says that he is abandoning the pro-Israel cause, and he means it, okay? He's also texting people who work at Turning Point USA, and he's saying he wants Candace back at AmFest that year after the Zionist peer pressure to keep me off of the roster. He wasn't allowed to have me. Charlie's done. He is done. That's now a fact. He signals to his troops that he doesn't care about the money, does not care about the money anymore. He wants them out. He then has what looks like an emergency Zoom call with Rabbi Wolicki. Now, I want you to bear in mind, this is 4 a.m. in Israel. Rabbi Wolicki lives in Israel. It's 4 a.m., and he's going to jump on this call with Charlie. And he was just on this chat. He was on the chat 2 hours earlier before this call when Charlie said that he would no longer be bullied by Jewish donors who play into all of the stereotypes. That chat, that notorious chat, which also featured Josh Hammer, okay? Josh and the rabbi, 2 hours later, are going to jump on this call. And later on, after Charlie was assassinated, Josh and Erica, in a different time, to my face, they're going to say that chat was really not a big deal. That chat wasn't a big deal. Charlie was just blowing off a little bit of steam. He didn't mean it. He never once blinked on his support for Israel. Now, according to Josh, that 2 hour later call, that was just because Josh Hammer's brilliant. He's a mentor. He was a mentor somehow to Charlie when it came to debating, and he really just needed some good talking points. He was angry at Israel, but he was just blowing off some steam, and then he was back and wanted to focus on these talking points. And so apparently he needed Josh Hammer. He also needed this rabbi all the way in Israel who agreed to wake up at 4 a.m. his time to help Charlie with talking points to college students. It's not exactly doing some main stage event up against some big political player. He needs help debating college students. So never mind the fact, let's just park aside the fact that Charlie was known as a boy wonder for doing just that. That's how he made his name, debating college kids. This time, for whatever reason, he needed some pointers, and these were the two that were best suited for the job. Okay. What we know happens thereafter is Charlie concludes this call with Josh and the rabbi, and then he sends off text messages to his security chief, Dan Flood, also to Andrew Colvett, and he says to them that they are going to kill me. Who is they? Well, Erica wants us to believe that he was referring to the left, or maybe even an Etsy witch, right? Some Etsy witch who put a curse on him. because don't forget, we were also told that the definitely not at all Catholic Charlie had a priest come over and pray over him as well after he has this debating pointers handed to him and texting people saying he's going to die. He also was not at all Catholic and needed a priest to pray over him. And by the way, don't forget, he also apparently had no fears the next day, Erica says. She has his phone, but we had a priest praying over him. We have a declaration that he's abandoning the pro-Israel cause and that he feels that he is being bullied and he's done with it, and that Jewish people play into all the stereotypes. But we are also told that he had no fears the next day. Actually, he went to bed and he was just excited. He was elated. He couldn't sleep because doing college campus events was so brand new to him that he felt like a kid on Christmas morning. I'm just going to jump in here and tell you that's a lie. Okay, no one on earth has done more college campus events with Charlie Kirk than me. Charlie was not bubbling over in excitement to go answer questions from the likes of Hunter Kozak. Okay, these events, people stand up, they're just trying to debunk you, and yeah, you do them. You're not jumping out of your skin to do them because it's your job. Okay, it's the shiny effect has wore off for Charlie Kirk. He was good at his job, and he enjoyed having the debates. He enjoyed cutting across the clips so people could wake up to what was happening on college campuses. But let's just stop with this absurd narrative that he couldn't sleep like it was Christmas morning and he was 4 years old. Anyway, we can keep with Erica's story though. Let's just stick with it. Actually, she's high on Charlie Kirk is high on life over a routine college event, and now he's up and pacing around the house, not in fear, just in excitement. This is like Disney World for him, going to UVU. Mm-hmm. Oddly, however, what we can confirm to you is Erica's best friend and her assistant did have fear for some reason. Mm-hmm. Charlie's good. He's excited, but they had fear. For some reason, Tracy Martin told her daughter, who's Erica's assistant, not to go to this event. They pull her back because Tracy senses danger. But if that's just mommy intuition, are we to believe that she did this? She pulled her daughter back from this event and she declined to share that overwhelming mommy intuition with her best friend whose husband was going to the event? That seems selfish to me. Are we also to believe that Erica wasn't interested in asking her assistant why she wasn't going to do her job, to work? I want you guys to remember, Charlie was assassinated on a Wednesday. So if Tracy pulled her daughter back from going to work or going to the event on Wednesday morning, then presumably Erica, her daughter's employer or boss, would have been made aware. You presumably would have had to say something. Maybe the conversation, hey, what are you doing staying behind here in Arizona? Didn't I tell you to go help Charlie at UVU? There's not going to be some sort of a conversation? And if you're wondering why at all Erica's assistant would be traveling with Charlie, it's because she also doubled as an assistant on Charlie's show. And the whole gang was there. Remember? Charlie's show. Blake Neff's there. They're bringing everybody. Amazing Mikey McCoy is there. Wow, kind of weird that she wouldn't tell her work colleagues, hey, maybe don't go. My mom's got a bad feeling. No? Or no. Were Blake and Mikey wondering why she wasn't coming to work at UVU? No. How did this go? I want to know. I have all these questions, but you see, I'm not a police officer. I don't work for the feds. And so I don't have a right to ask them outside of this podcast. Did she call out sick? Maybe that's what she just called out sick. That's not what she told people in her immediate circle, but I'm just throwing things at the wall here. Because everything we're being told makes no sense. So did she called out altogether? Again, I'll ask the question, what sorts of best friend would move out of intuition to save her daughter's life, to protect her daughter, but not communicate those concerns to her best friend whose husband is still going to that event? Are we to believe that that is how it went down? And if the answer is yes, are we to assume that they believe we're idiots?
Yes, I think we are.
Erica should be dragged into a police precinct.
Agreed.
Tracy Martin should be dragged into a police precinct.
Agreed.
Her daughter should be made to sit and answer basic questions about this intuition. Messages should
all
be
three
shared,
of them.
shown. Everyone should figure out how this happened. That's where I'm at on this. She needs to be questioned. Erica needs to be questioned. Because my dog Blue is leaving his paw print, and this picture seems pretty obvious that is emerging. Paw print number 1, on the day of Charlie's actual funeral, her and Andrew Colvett, Erica and Andrew Colvett, had an emergency 3-way call with Dr. Lee Trotter, the surgeon, trying to figure out how to respond to the public about why the 30-06 didn't pass through Charlie's neck. Erica allegedly is the one who put forth this 3-way call. She's on the call. There was no HIPAA violation here, and she is the one that suggested that Charlie has a Superman neck. And again, they are playing defense because I shared the fact on my podcast that the bullet didn't go through.
No blood.
Well, it did not go through. There was no blood at all.
None.
Apparently, Andrew hit send on X to Superman neck. And we're led to believe for a very long time that was referring to, I don't know, something the surgeon said, which he didn't. My Dog Blue paw print number 2, Erica lied to Glenn Beck about Charlie having not sent around text messages the night before to various people signaling that he thought he was going to be murdered. I have his phone. And then she said that was a mistake. No, it must have been on Telegram that he sent that. And then I confirmed with my person that had access to Dan Flood's phone that it wasn't sent on Telegram. It was sent on iMessage. So she lied to me. She lied twice. She lied once, and then she lied again to me. And I don't like when people lie to my face. Paw print number 3. Erica was at the meeting in the Hamptons when Bibi Netanyahu called and offered to take Turning Point to the next level, but she cannot remember that particular detail. Boys and girls, what is the picture that is emerging? We could do more paw prints, but this is a toddler show. 3 should be enough to have a picture that's emerging. We should be able to take out my handy dandy notebook and put together a picture here, a story here should be emerging. And the kids, you can just shout, what's happening here? What are we looking at, kids? And that doesn't even account for all of the subjective oddities, vibes, like Erica's emotions, the Zoom call, the Shabbat Shalom book tour, Erica asserting to Barry Weiss, of all people, that Jew hatred is wrong, Erica allowing Ben Shapiro to open at AmFest behind her. Like I said, that was my clue something was wrong. When Ben came out swinging, I was going, oh, something's very wrong here. Erica welcoming the New York Times into their shared.
Pause. Now, I'm not going to let you listen to the whole thing, but the whole reason why I wanted to show you this is because of what has been transparent, what's been happening, of her lies that Erica has told and has been exposed, okay? None of it makes sense, okay? Now, Candace Owens is right. Why did not questioning her, Stacy, the best friend, and their daughter? When Stacy had a bad feeling that something was going to happen on that Wednesday, 9/10, that Stacy did not want her daughter to go into that event because she had a bad feeling something was going to happen. And why that was not communicated to Dan Flood, to Brian Hartpole, and among other people of the staff at Turning Point. Why Charlie Kirk was not informed of that. None of it makes sense. Everything looks suspicious. And that's why I just wanted to go back and show you guys this of what Candace Owens said, because this is a review. This is analyzing everything and all the lies that she has told with the text messages. Charlie Kirk having a good night's sleep, that she wanted him to sleep in their daughter's room. But now all of it was just a lie to make it seem like they had a good marriage, that she was a good wife, when a lot of things has transparent behind the scenes that we're not aware of, but other people are, and they're exposing that. That's why I cannot wait until Monday when Candace Owens, like I said yesterday, that she's going to expose a lot of things of Erica Kirk's past and present, okay? Because we don't know the future. We can't, know what the future is going to hold. But what I'm saying is everything that she's been doing and acting and behaving, no one's not questioning her. No one's not doing an investigation on her and her behaviors and the lies that she told. It's just very bizarre to me. And that makes me to believe that some people are in on it. Some people are aware of the things that Erica is doing doesn't make any sense, or it looks very suspicious because, the wife is always the main suspect of her husband's murder, and they ruled her out very quickly, and they're not questioning anything. They're not. So to me, Candace Owens doing a great job. She's doing an amazing job. But I'm just going to tell you, outside looking in, and just not, putting anything, not putting any, what's the word? not, oh, what is the word I'm trying to say? I'm not saying that what Candace Owens is doing is wrong. Absolutely not wrong. She put so much hard work and her blood, sweat, and tears, investigating and doing what she's doing to get to the bottom of the truth, to get the truth. My thing is it enough? Even though she's doing all this, okay, and God is helping her, God is directing her through all this, is it enough? Because it seems like these people don't care. Like the FBI, and investigators, the law enforcement, they're not even looking into it, everything that she has said, everything that has been transparent, all the proof and all that receipts that to back up everything that Candace Owens is saying. I don't see anyone investigating. I don't see the mainstream media talking about it, investigating, they're not doing anything. And to me, that makes me to believe that they don't give two shits of the truth. They really don't. And I'm not saying I want Candace Owens to stop, because she shouldn't stop, and I know she's not going to stop. We do deserve to know the truth. We do deserve to know what happened on that day, on Wednesday, on 9/10. So people who were involved, their names going to be exposed. However, will there be arrests made? Will there anything will happen? No. And I'm just telling you this because that's just my opinion. But things can change. I could be proven wrong, and I hope and pray, you guys, that I will be proven wrong, that there will be arrests made, people will be prosecuted to the highest level, and lock them up and throw away the key. I hope that's the case. But just going back to the Epstein and then the Charlie Kirk's investigation, highly unlikely that's going to happen. But names are going to be exposed, yes. But will there be arrests made, and will there be justice? I don't think so. I really don't, honestly. But again, I hope and pray that I'm wrong, you guys. I really do. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for joining me live, and I really appreciate each and one of you. I love you guys so much, and I just really appreciate everyone's taking their time to come on here live and drop a comment and just listen to what I have to say. I really appreciate it, because this is a small channel, and I really appreciate each and one of you. Stay safe. God bless. Have a good night, and I will see you guys on the next one.